The toss, Cohen. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake. They've taken care of that early.
Throwing here, Trubisky. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks. Great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Play action. Now Trubisky. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Called fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. They're exactly right.
So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10.
3 down. Hey, 18.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. Finding Gabriel, complete. Touchdown, Chicago. 3 touchdown passes now for Mitchell Trubisky. And the Bears will add on to their lead.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin is the line. On 1st down, Stafford here. Going underneath to Blount. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. It kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Play action. Stafford. He'll buy some time right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. Third and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and that leads to a play action sack. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt, and the Bears take over. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Come on, gotta go, gotta go.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Let's go.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Red, up. Blue. Red, up.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. Trubisky now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10.
Red, up.
Now Trubisky to throw. Going for the deep ball. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Touchdown, Chicago. Anthony Miller, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bears will extend their lead. And his kick is right through. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of it.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Khalil Mack in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Operating from the gun, Stafford. He gets this one to Bruce Ellington. A very solid gain of 27.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Stafford now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. From the gun, Stafford dancing to his left. And a completion to Wilson. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
To throw on second down is Stafford. Escaping the pressure, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Operating from the gun, Stafford. And Wilson has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. From the gun, Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
He finds Riddick complete, and he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. Stafford looks to throw again. Steps away to his left. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Operating from the gun, Stafford. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1.
Hey, watch number 33.
They snap it to Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. But I think the Bears have recovered. They have. And they're not able to convert on 4th down.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but that's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Looked to me like they were trying to go off tackle there, but he thought he could bounce that out a little bit further, didn't he?
He did, but didn't work out. Good pursuit defensively and able to force him out behind the line of scrimmage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Trubisky to throw on second. Buying time to his left. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
22.
After the interception, here's Stafford. Airing one deep for Riddick. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. It was Bryce Callahan jarring the ball free defensively.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jones. And he's taken down inside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Right there. Dang, baby. 21. Here we go, D. Here I come.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. As it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. On second down, here's Stafford. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. He was trying to get it to T.J. Jones that time. And it's 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Onto the field now come the Bears. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Now Cohen. And an alley to run. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this is
do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And they will score a pick six for Bears touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by one more. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds and maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
22!
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. From the gun, Stafford. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Here's Stafford. And that is incomplete. It was Bryce Callahan jarring the ball free defensively.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down.
Ready? 22!
So they will go for it. Stafford. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. Now they'll run it with Cohen. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Burton. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Well, call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A gain of 32 that time.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
18.
From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on first down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And now it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Now the rookie from Alabama, it's Bo Scarborough. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Bears on third down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Trubisky now off the bootleg. Pressure comes and Trubisky goes down. Devon Kennard in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And his kick is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. He'll have a first down past the 40. It's caught. Jones, the 20, 10, and he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are in for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's...
He's got him in, complete. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 53 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. On 2nd down, Trubisky. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
We all know that teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
Around the NFL, they've gone to the 3rd in Cleveland. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. On 1st down, it's Stafford. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12.
Hey, tag 50 left.
Operating from the gun, Stafford. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Eddie Jackson picks it. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10, and they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Well, you start to feel sorry now for the young man throwing the football. This is really turning into a disaster.
Listen, it's baptism. This is almost a rite of passage. This young in the league, go back and find a Hall of Fame quarterback and check their records for their first 2 years, especially if they started the bulk of the games. I bet you'll find double-digit interceptions on just about every one of them. They have to learn as they go along.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here come the Lions now. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, Let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percent.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Leonard Floyd, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
22.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Zach Brown in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. Back now at Soldier Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. From the gun, Stafford throwing deep for Galladay. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. And taken right on the 30. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Oh, nice move at midfield. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. First carry for the fullback, Aaron Ripkowski, and he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Now, that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
They'll run with a rookie. It's Boston Scott. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Yeah, once more, strong running. Excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Lock it.
Right back to him on 1st down. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Let's go. Strong right. 3 down.
This is Cohen. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. The Bears on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. on the carry. This is Scott. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Boston Scott, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bears continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And Detroit getting set to go now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. From his own goal line, Stafford eluding the pressure right. And he whips that one incomplete there. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target. And it's 3rd down.
Well, to say that this has not been his game is probably a big understatement. I mean, he is all over the place. Mechanics are off, not accurate, except if you're playing on defense, because they picked off a good number of passes.
Yeah, all the INTs, but they're throwing it off his back foot. Pressure coming, just chucking it down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Adrian Amos with a pick. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. This is Cohen on the toss. He's to the 10, and he's all the way down to the 6-yard line. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, we're looking at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though.
You see it? You see it?
They come out here in the eye. They'll run for it with Tariq Cohen. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Four down. Set. Lady. Check flag 45. Check flag.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Johnson. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Chicago, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Minnesota Vikings come to town. Meanwhile, for Detroit, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.